Guys, Assalamualaikum and good morning. Welcome to our YouTube channel, TVPDKT. Before we begin the sharing, let us first recite Al-Fatihah. Okay, Alhamdulillah, praise and thanks to Allah for the countless blessings He has blessed us all with. Blessing and salutations to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, his wives, his family, companions, and all those that follow his teachings to the day of judgment. I am Cikgu Wan Normala from SK Srinilam. You can call me Cikgu Mala or Teacher Mare. Well, not that Mel Gibson, just Mare. And I am your moderator for today. Okay, before we start off, I would like to highlight a few sweet things. The sharing is best viewed with desktop YouTube version, okay? You won't see live chat if the view is in portable version. I mean, if you use your smartphone and you don't change the setting to desktop, YouTube desktop, you won't see any live comments on your right. Okay, and then you can ask questions, any question regarding this sharing at any time because we do not conduct an AQ session at the end of the sharing. Where to ask? Use the live comments. The SPLKPM link will be given at the end of the sharing. You have to be patient, right? Right. Today we are so lucky to have the opportunity to be with the one and only Dr. Yusnita Yunus. All right. She is a doctor of philosophy in English language education, teaching English to speakers of other languages. That's all. And she also a master holder in teaching English as second language, and she had bachelor in teaching English as second language too. She is currently a school improvement specialist coaches languages, or in short SC plus of Pejabat Pendidikan Daerah Kuala Terengganu. And she is best at coaching and mentoring, negotiation and consultation, well, verbal and written communication, researcher, and guest speaker for teaching and learning techniques and motivation. Oh, wow. So do you think you have made a good choice to be with us today? I bet you did great. And one more thing, please. Could you please do me a favor, guys? Please subscribe our channel, guys, please. And not a minute to lose. Let's give it up to Dr. Yusnita.
Thank you very much to Cikgu Wan Normala, Wan Ali as our moderator for today's sharing on YouTube Live. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera, salam Ramadan Kareem, and also happy holiday for those who are celebrating Vesak Day today. Okay, how's everyone there? I hope everyone is doing great. Okay, before I start my sharing, I would like to express my gratitude to Tuan Haji Jelani Solong, Pegawai Pendidikan Daerah Kuala Terengganu, for his brilliant idea to make this sharing possible to all the viewers out there. I would also like to welcome all of you. I understand this live is not just viewed by teachers from Kuala Terengganu or Kuala Nerus, but also other teachers from other parts of Malaysia. In fact, I believe viewers from pupils, students, even parents throughout the world, inshallah. All right, dear viewers, I believe in the concept of sharing is caring. Therefore, I am here not to teach anybody, but just to share my knowledge, skills, and experience. I also believe that there are 1,001 ways to learn language, to teach and learn language. And I only share just one of them, okay? So hopefully it will benefit all of us, inshallah. Okay, let's, okay. All right. Oh my goodness. Oh, sorry. It seems like. All right. So yeah, finally. All right. Present or past tense? This is the topic of my sharing today. Present or past tense? Okay. EASUNO versus JALYTOR. What is that? Okay. Let's see. I believe English is fun. I always believe English is fun. And we have to just relax and don't tense up. Even though we are going to deal with all the tenses, but we don't have to tense up, right? Okay. So before I move to another slide, I would like to sing to you today. All right. So if you have heard this song, which is good, the song is called "This Is the Way." All right. I'm gonna sing, and I just want you to listen. And after this, I will definitely ask why I sing that song. Okay. All right. This is the way I brush my teeth. I brush my teeth. I brush my teeth. This is the way I brush my teeth early every morning. Oh, that was the way I brushed my teeth. I brushed my teeth. I brushed my teeth. That was the way I brushed my teeth early yesterday morning. And listen the difference between these two rhymes. All right, let's see. Right. I don't know what's happened. Okay. This is technical. This is what we call it. Technical. All right. Maybe I need to like share it again. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay.
When dealing with technology, you need to be patient.
All right.
There.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. So if you can see here, the lyrics of the song. All right. So the difference is between early every morning and early yesterday morning. So that makes different. All right. So now I am going to share with you about what is tense, present tense and past tense, and so what makes them different between EASUNO and JALYTOR. I understand that people have been wondering what is EASUNO and JALYTOR, because I had a few friends who called me and asked what is that. Okay, I will share it with you. Okay. All right. So what is tense in grammar? It is all about action words or verbs that change depending on the time. And of course, we cannot forget about people there. All right, I will show you how it connects between each other. All right, so normally when I go to school, I will ask students what do they understand with the word tense, like tenses, present tense, past tense. That's why I believe that this sharing is also good for them, right? Okay, so let's look at present tense. Actually, present tense talk about the actions at the present time. And there are 4 altogether. We have present simple, present continuous, present perfect, and present perfect continuous tense. But for today's sharing, I'm not going to focus on other tenses, but just present simple. It is called simple because its basic form consists of a single word. That's why we call it simple. All right. All right. So here I'm introducing you the EASUNO. All right. So it's actually present tense describes permanent and repeated events or actions. Okay. So here is the keyword. The keyword EASUNO. Right. E stands for every day, every week, every night, and other every if there is. A stands for always. S stands for sometimes and seldom. U stands for usually, N normally or never, and O for often or occasionally. And of course, there's another table that our students have to refer to, like here, like subject, verb. Are you Devi? Okay, if you can see here, the way I arrange subject differently, right? Are you Devi? And he, she, it. Because are you Devi, they will take a plural verb without s. While he, she, it, uh, they take a singular verb with s. So this is also one good thing that sometimes I will sing with the students. Okay, just to remember, English is fun. That's why I always have songs every now and then just to let them enjoy learning the language. Okay, like for example, I will sing using the tune for "Are You Sleeping?" But I will sing like "Are you Devi? Are you Devi? He, she, it. He, she, it." So are you Devi? Plural. Plural here is to take plural verb. He, she, it, single. So it's like to take singular verb with single starts with S and they have to consider verbs with the additional letter S at the end. All right. So that is about present time, present simple. Okay. So EASUNO is actually a keyword for our students to help them to understand that the sentence is in present simple. All right. Okay. Let's look at here. This is the example. My mother always wiped the chickens. Okay. The answer is A. Fed. The options are fed, feed, feeds, and feeding. All right. So there are steps that they have to take. The first step will be search for the keyword. Okay. So what is the keyword here? Always. The second step, choose the right action words or verbs depending on the subject. Okay, let's see here. The answer is feed. Why it is feed? Because the subject is mother. A singular subject goes with singular verb. All right. Okay. Let's look at this exercise. She usually, the word usually. Okay, let's hear. This is the keyword. And this is the subject. And that is the verb, the action words. Okay. The second one is, here is the keyword, the subject, and this is the action words. Keyword, the subject, and the action word. The keyword, the subject, and the action words. And this is the keyword. See at the end of the sentence, every day. And I also like to share the word every day here. Sometimes when I go to school, I notice that some students they kind of confuse between everyday 2 words and everyday 1 word. Okay, so if we are talking about time, it should be 2 words. If we are talking about adjective, every day it should be 1 word. Like I eat roti canai every day. That is the time. Roti canai is my everyday meal. That every day is going to be the adjective. All right. And then we have Kim as a subject. Okay, considering the time, and that's the word. All right. So Here we have EASUNO. We have every day. We have always. We don't have sometimes, but we have seldom there. Uh, we have usually. We don't have normally. We don't have never there, but we have often. So this is how to help our students to understand that they have to look for the keywords before they can uh, make the choice, or they have the options. They have to know where to find the keywords. All right. Okay, so the answer just now, you can also do it at home with your children, and you can refer to this one uh, for the answers. Okay, why is it gets? Because she is a singular subject. Why is it listen without s? Because they is a plural subject. Writes, he is a singular subject. Forget, we is a plural subject. And comes because Kim is a singular subject. It's very easy. Find the keywords. Okay. Here is another exercise that I would like to suggest that you may want to share with your children at home or the students through online. I don't know, in this kind of situation where we have to stay at home, all these things can help our students, right? Okay. So here, they have to find what's wrong with these samples, what's wrong with this composition, what's wrong with these paragraphs. Okay, I have already underlined the mistakes that the students have to correct. All right, so this is also can, or you can just give them without this word underline or bold. Just ask them to identify what's wrong with these samples. So learning from mistakes is one of the best techniques to learn language, because when they learn from mistakes, they won't make the same mistakes, inshallah, next time. Okay, all right, so let's look at past tense. All right, so again, why is it simple? Because its basic form consists only a single word. All right, and why is it past tense? Past tense is not just simple past tense, but past tense consists of another past tenses. Okay, we have past simple, past continuous, past perfect simple, and past perfect continuous. And past tense is actually talk about actions that happened in the past. All right, for this sharing, I will just focus on past simple. Inshallah, in the upcoming videos, I may share with you the other tenses with tips and tricks. Okay. All right. So past tense. Just now, for present tense, I shared with you this EASUNO. Here is for the past simple. The key word here is JALYTOR. I believe most of teachers, they are my friends, and they have been using JALYTOR
Okay.
for years.
There is a question from Madam Rohani Arifin. Okay, she asked, for the weaker class, how to explain if there is no keywords of EASUNO?
For the weaker class, how to explain if there is no keywords?
No keyword EASUNO.
All right. Always starts with simple and things that they can understand. Since we are teaching the low achievers, or we call it the class, the weak class, we have to start small, simple. We have to guide them through, let them understand this EASUNO, and let them explore. And then and of course, using simple present or present simple, it's for action, that repeated actions. Okay, repeated action, the facts. So all these things we have to introduce to them bit by bit, because they need extra attention. But I believe, because through my experience when I was in school, teaching, the weak class, we have to start small, but we have to do a lot of exercise, inshallah. Start with EASUNO first, and then we can widen it to the other style of teaching simple present, or techniques of teaching simple present. So start with EASUNO, and of course there are sentences that they have to understand, that the facts, for example, because simple presents are not that difficult. It's just the facts, the habits, the routine, these three things that we have to let them understand. Okay, I think I can. I think I have answered the teacher's question. So let's move. Teacher Mel, can I move to the explanation? Okay. So here is JALYTOR. It's very helpful actually, because when they look at it just now, they know that they have to use actions that is past simple. Okay, ago, last, yesterday, yesteryear, this morning, that day, those days, one day, once upon a time, recently. Based on my experience, I would just ask them to help me. I introduced to them and I asked them to help me with this acronym. What is J and what is A? What is last? What is L? Sorry, what is Y? T O R? Okay, and of course, for the first attempt, they will say T is for today, as not yet finished, and then cannot be passed, right? So we have to explain this morning. What did you do this morning? So we have to ask them questions also. It's good actually. We are not just introducing the keyword, but we also have to ask questions, right? And of course, compared to simple present, simple past, I would say, is easier, because they don't have to think about S, without S, or with S. All right, but there are things that they have to alert. All right, for example, regular verb with D, ED, or IED, while for irregular verb, like totally change, like the word sing, sang, and the word cut, no changes. So all those words fall under irregular verb. All right. So here, let's look at the example. Yesterday, the boys to town to buy their books. First, what they have to do is to find the keyword. Always find the keyword. We have to do a lot of practice so that they can recognize the keywords. So what is the keyword here? Yesterday. Only then they can make a choice. Because if you want to compare between present, simple present, and simple past, or past present, present simple, present past. Sorry, simple present and simple present tense and simple past tense. They have to understand that past tense is quite easy, because they don't really have to check on the subject, because all the subjects use the same action words. So here, the second step would be choose the right action words or verbs depending on the keywords. So what is the keyword here? Yesterday. So the word is went. All right. So because of the word yesterday, they have to choose the word went. All right. All right, let's look at here. The farmer sell his cow last week. So what is the keyword here? The keyword here is last week. All right. And the action words or the verbs is sell. So we have to change, because it cannot be sell. Remember, tenses is action words that change depending on the time. All right. Here we have yesterday, and then we have verbs here, take, and then 3 days ago, JALYTOR, the word ago there, so that to show that they have to use past tense form for the word lose. And then we have the word just now. Okay, the action word is put, and the word last night is the keyword, and the verb is walk. All right. So what is the answer for number one? Okay. Number one is the word has to be changed to so. All right. It is irregular verb. Regular verb means ed, ied, or d. So the word so is irregular verb.
Okay, I'm sorry, Doctor, for interrupting.
Okay.
There is a question from Muhammad Abdullah Imran. He asked how to explain the JALYTOR for the down class.
Okay. When we teach grammar to our students, I believe we should teach our students in context. We are not explaining to them the technical part, but we help them to understand JALYTOR is actually an acronym for them. It's like they have to memorize for the, I mean, at the early stage, they have to memorize what is J, what is A, what is L, what is Y, T, and O, and R. And when they are used to do exercise on this acronym or exercise that they have to identify keywords using this acronym JALYTOR, it will it will help them to understand better. Because we cannot explain what is JALYTOR. Is it a kind of food or what? This is just an acronym that help our students to understand that they have, every time when they read the question, they have to find the keywords. When they find the keywords, inshallah, they will know how to get the right action words or verbs to be used to that particular sentence. And then the only thing that we have to slowly introduce is like regular verb, irregular verb. Okay, so I believe it's always good to learn in context. It is always good to learn in context because they will see the things that they have been doing can be associated with what comes next. All right, because we are not going. At times we may have to introduce the rules. Okay, but for the weaker class, rules is not easy for them to digest. So what you have to do is you just give the exercise and let them practice as many exercises as possible so that they are used to the word. Always ask them to circle. That's why when in my example, I always asked when I was in school, I always asked my students to circle all the keywords so that they understand, oh, this is the keyword. If they send to me the answers without identifying all the keywords, I will have to ask them, where's the keyword? How do you know that this is the answer? So let them get used to all this. I believe teachers, you also are being very creative. You also have come up with your own ideas just to let your students to remember well, especially on the keywords. Okay. All right.
Beautiful explanation. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So here, number 2, the word take becomes took, and it is an irregular verb. The word lose becomes lost, irregular verb. The word food is irregular verb, but no changes made. It's like food, cut, right? And then the word walked. This is regular verb. Always explain one thing at a time, because especially when I could see that teachers are more interested in knowing how to tackle the weak class students, right? So always start small, start simple. We don't want them to get stressed. We put everything at one time, all the regular and irregular verbs together, so they will find it difficult. All right, so because they have to let them learn and love the language, we have to let them start simple, start like easy. It's not that difficult. English not that difficult. So we start with one at a time. Once they are really understand and masters all these things, then you can put everything inside and ask them to answer questions. So one at a time. Right, so now I have introduced to you these two acronym, EASUNO or JALYTOR. You can start creating, just like come up with questions and ask them to identify keywords. Why do you have to choose this option? Because of this keyword. So let them, always ask them to justify their answers. That's one thing, justify their answer. Why? Always ask them why. Why do you choose this option? Why not this option? They will have to provide us with reason why they choose the options. Okay, I think that's because when I was in school, that was the thing that I did with my students. I would just ask them, okay, if you say this is the question, what makes you choose this question, this option? And they will say, because of this one, and you have to do. They will give the reasons, and you will be satisfied, inshallah. Okay.
Okay. And there is another question from teacher Rohani Arifin. My pupils always write put it, take it, use their own past tense, overcome.
Okay, how to overcome? All right. Practice makes perfect. I always believe that practice makes perfect. It's like these words are not many, like put, cut, shut. That's not many. You can make it rhyme. You can create a chant, a just chant. You can have it like having fun, like put, cut, shut. You make it like fun, and then they will remember. Like, and then you ask them to make a tongue twister. Why not? So all these things help them to memorize. Like they will strengthen their memory on all these things. Inshallah. Just chant. What is that? Tongue twister. We have to create that. So there will be no more cut it, put it, take it. So we have to do it like in a fun way. All right, inshallah. All right, so this is exercise 4. Write a composition based on the picture. All right. So here, in my previous video, I have my channel. You can browse through my channel, and also maybe you can visit a few videos there. To write a composition like this, for some students, they will find difficulties in coming out. They just like, what is this? Just a plain picture. They cannot think of what to write and how to write. So we have to put ourselves into their shoes. We have to be empathy. Sometimes, like one size does not fit all, of course, that the things that I always believe. So for some students, they would be able to come up with the how to write a composition. But for some students, they might find difficulty. They need guide, they need notes, they need guided words. Okay, all right. My style, this is I'm sharing my experience. I don't like to restrict. I don't like to restrict my students with just pictures and guided words. What I will ask my students to do is to explore this picture. How to explore? First, I introduced one technique earlier in my video, PATD. First, we have to know where is the situation. The situation is in the house. Okay. And then P, who are the people that they can see in the picture? Who are the people? Is it mother, father, brother, sister, or they even put names? Okay, just accept whatever they give. Okay, if we want to have shared writing, so we have to accept all the answers given by our students. Okay, and then we list down all the people. Okay, here in the pictures there are not many, just 4. All right. Okay, and P, that is for people, and then we have actions. Okay, action is actually verbs. All right. So we want to know what are the action words that they can see from the pictures. They can explore and list down, right? So there are a few like baked, okay, bake, what is that? Mop, hang. So, and I would prefer my students to give the base word, not past tense or present tense, just base word. Because you know why? We can come up with a composition, we can come up with a present tense form, and also we can come up with past tense form by only using this base words. We will help them to explore. So we don't restrict them only to come up with, okay, baking, mopping, hanging. The word ing also will get them confused because there are also words with ing, but it is not a verb, but it is an adjective, it is a noun. So it's better for us to let our students to list down action words using just a base word. From there, we can explore. We can help them to identify which one, okay, which one is present tense and past tense form. All right. Okay. So that is about actions. And then T. T is things. Okay. Things. What are the things? Oh my goodness, there are a lot of things they can see from the pictures. So they just list down whatever they can see in the picture. They can just list down as many as possible. All right. And then last one is description. Description is actually, it can be feeling, it can be, okay, it's adjective actually. All right. And also adverb. So it's a combination. If you want to understand further on the one that I explained just now, PATD, I don't share it here because I don't want to get confused because my focus is present and past tense. So you can watch my previous videos on how to enrich students' vocabulary to help them in their writing. All right. Okay. So what happened here? So this can be another exercise. Okay, this can be another exercise that we can give to our students. Where are all the simple past tense? You just ask them to highlight or underline or circle. You just give them and ask them to identify. So where are all the simple past tense? So they will just have to circle. First, we introduce, okay, if you can recall, the first thing is we introduce them the acronyms, EASUNO or JALYTOR, and then we just ask them to fill in the blanks, identify the keywords, and also choose the right options based on the keywords, based on the subjects, okay? And then later we move to a little bit harder, like identify simple past tense. This is good actually, so that they can associate whatever that they have learned earlier with what they are going to come up with. All right, this is just pictures and sample answers. Okay, I believe that the more you read, the better you'll be in your writing. Okay, the better writer. Sometimes our students, they have problems in reading. They don't read, so they don't have words. So that's why this is another chance or another opportunity for them to explore the composition. They read, they identify, they understand, or this is where I should use this one, or why? Because of the word last weekend, you cannot use present tense. You have to use past tense form. All right, okay. So this is how we ask them to identify. And then we can also have this, of course, now we are at home, they have to do their work individually. Having group discussion would be very good if you are able to get connected to your students. You can ask them to give to justify their answers, why they have to choose decided instead of decides or just decide. So they will have to answer us the word last there. Remember, JALYTOR, the acronym of L for last, make everything, okay, makes everything change. All right, changes everything. See, because just for one word, last weekend. Right, so last weekend, Ahmad and his family decided to clean their house. They wanted their house to be clean and tidy. So everybody had his or her task to do. Ahmad mopped the floor, and he had to make sure the floor was clean. Meanwhile, his father was busy changing the new curtains. In the kitchen, Ahmad's mother baked a lot of delicious cookies and cakes. At the same time, his sister arranged nicely the flowers in the vase to beautify their home. All of them completed their task in the evening. Although they were tired, they were satisfied looking at the beautiful house. Here, if you notice, the word satisfied, it is not um, a verb, action word. So here also we can explain. They might want to circle the word satisfied, but we explain in a way because they are learning in context that the word satisfied is not a verb but an adjective. So we introduce bit by bit, just introduce in context, introduce like without them realizing that you are actually introducing other parts of speech. Okay, this is one thing. All right. So what makes them different? What makes them different? Okay. Present or past? All right. In my earlier slide, it was dark. Now it's brighter. Present, we have to introduce to them the keywords. And the keywords here is EASUNO. And for past tense, the keyword here is JALYTOR. Right? E for every, A for always, S for sometimes or seldom, U is for usually, normally, and often. We also have to let them know that all these words show that the actions are repeated actions.
Right. And then there is a question from teacher Aulia Iliani Abdul Manan. I know her, she is my friend. Doctor, is it possible if the teacher provides the answer for composition writing for weaker classes to ensure the pupils could memorize the basic words and to write it correct way?
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Thank you very much, Aulia. Yeah, I know her too. Okay, I always suggest to teachers, because like I said earlier, the problem with our pupils, some of them, they cannot write, or the problem with our students, they cannot write well because they don't read more. If they read more, they will be able to write better. Okay, so where to read, what to read, and how to read? That's always the question. What to read, how to read? Are we going to take a piece of news paper and ask them to? They would not see the relevance of having that newspaper with their UPSR or their exam or their at the end of the year. But if you ask them to read the key or the sample answer, believe me, they will read because they want to know the best composition, so that they will imitate, they will try to copy. Okay, so there's another words like the word copy. When I was in school, I asked them to copy the answers. Before I ask them to write, I will ask them to copy the answer or the key at the back of their workbook. They have answer key. All right. So I would just ask them to read. I remember one of the students, she came to me, she said, "You asked us to copy." I said, "Yeah." Uh, uh, the problem with Bahasa Melayu, the word copy is the same meaning with tiru and also salin. The word copy share the same meaning. One is tiru, one is copy. Tiru means you cheat in the examination. It's just like copying other people's answer. That's cheating. And I told my students, you are not cheating. You are learning by copying, because while you are copying, you read. While you are copying, you are also reading. So at the same time, you will enrich your vocabulary, you know the structure, okay? So that is how we ask them, instead of asking them just to memorize, this is also another way. And of course, don't ask them to copy like um, like composition with 3 paragraphs, just 1 paragraph at a time, and make an exploration. How to make an exploration? Ask them to identify the subject, ask them to identify the verb, and explore the adjective, explore the adverb. So at the same time, the whole thing can be learned through just copying, reading, and writing. So that's the best way. Um, being a master teacher when I was in school, uh, not every year we got a good class. Of course, we are given the weak class. So how? You cannot let them feel demotivated. So this is the way you motivate them. And of course, those from good class, they will compare. They will say, why do you ask them to copy while we have to struggle ourselves to write? But of course, this is where this, this saying, one size does not fit all. So we have to try a lot of things just to help our students to learn. All right, okay. So here, I think we are about to finish. I think because I don't plan to give a lot of exercise here. I just want to share the tips and tricks, right? So that you will I don't know, based on your creativity, you just say, oh, I'm not going to use this EASUNO. In fact, for your information, in my module, I don't put EASUNO. I have other words too, like FIASUNO, frequently, and other words. But here, it's just as simple as possible, just to share with you, because I know all of you are very creative. You will come out with your own acronym for the sake of having our students to remember and to understand. Okay, so and of course, if you remember Bloom taxonomy, the lowest part is giving them knowledge, and they have to understand and they have to apply. So give them knowledge, ask them to give them knowledge, make sure that they understand and they can apply. All right, okay. All right, so here, see the earlier slide, it was dark. Now it's brighter. It's clean because this guy said, "Oh, now I know how to use EASUNO and JALYTOR in my teaching." All right, okay. So here, I would like to share. Of course, this is nothing to do with fasting month. Of course, we cannot have our breakfast, but just to have some sort of practice, right? Every day, I have breakfast with my parents before going to work. My mother usually prepares 2 slices of toasted bread with 2 half-boiled eggs and a cup of coffee for me. However, sometimes I take my brunch with my friends in the cafeteria. I seldom go home for lunch because normally my chief order packed food for all of us in the office. Since I'm on diet, I always make sure that I have a light meal for my dinner. So if you can see there, all the words in yellow, they are the keywords. This is for present tense. Let's look at what do we have. Because of the word everyday, the tenses, the action words, the verbs has become have. You see? My mother usually prepares. First, we have to identify the keyword. The keyword here is usually. Then we have to make an option. We have to choose the right words or the right verbs to use. So the word mother is a singular subject. Prepares a singular verb. All right, my mother usually prepares. Okay. And then we have however, sometimes I take. Remember the word sometimes? EASUNO, the word S, the letter S. stands for sometimes or seldom. All right, I take my brunch with my friends in the cafeteria. I seldom, the word seldom here, the word seldom here is also another keyword. I seldom go home for lunch because normally EASUNO and, all right, my chief order food for all of us in the office. Since I am on diet, I always, again, another keyword here. You see, it has become make sure that I have a light meal for dinner. So all these are in present tense form. What about for past tense form? Let's look at here. Now forget about yesterday. Forget about every day. I want to talk about yesterday, what happened to me. So yesterday, I had my breakfast with my cousin. See, every day I have my breakfast with my parents. But yesterday, I had my breakfast with my cousin. She just came back from Egypt. She also prepared a very delicious shawarma, one of dish, for me to take it with me to the office. During lunch, I heated it in a microwave at the pantry. It tasted good. At night, she invited all the family members to her house to enjoy our dinner. We had a special Middle Eastern dish prepared by her husband. It was a big portion of rice and lamb served in a big round tray. I believe later, you will prepare this for your iftar, inshallah. Okay, it was a heavy meal for me, but I enjoyed it very much. How about my diet? It was okay. Yesterday was my cheat day. Yesterday was my cheat day. It's like cheat from being diet. All right. So here a little bit high, okay, because sometimes you want to play with words when your students are becoming like very confident with the use of um, action words and also the use of keywords. So you might want to introduce this one. You just thought one thing that I noticed with my students when I was in school, they loved when you write something about you, and they will remember that for life because you disclose bit by bit. I mean, a bit, but actually you are not disclosing. You are teaching them in context. All right. So let's look at this one. Yesterday, because of the word yesterday, the word have becomes had. Came back, prepared, heated, tasted, invited, had, was, enjoyed, was, and was. That's not difficult, inshallah. Of course, we have to start small and simple. Start small and simple. Remember to start small and simple, and gradually you will introduce composition with one paragraph, and then later we will come up with composition to describe a picture, maybe, inshallah. All right. I think, yeah, that's about it. Yeah, almost 1 hour, I think. So, Teacher Mel, are you there?
All right.
Okay. Is there any questions like, so I like to summarize whatever that I have shared here. So the idea of having you in this sharing is to share with you the importance of having keywords when teaching language. Teaching languages or teaching language um, to our students, especially for those who are not coming from, like not English language speaking background. So we have to do a lot of work. Of course, it's like more work because we have to introduce them words, they need tenses, they need a lot of things. They need motivation. So what you have to do is motivate them by giving keywords so they will not feel that English is that difficult. So gradually they will come up with paragraph.
All right. There is a question from Nur Auni Baharudin. EASUNO. O is for
Okay.
EASUNO. O is for
Often.
often.
Often. Inshallah, you will get, you can watch, I think, again this video. I mean, we are going to record live. Yeah? There will be a recorded live video where you can come back and watch and take, and of course give comments and suggestions if you have, because the biggest room in the world is the room for improvement. So I'm just sharing whatever that I have, because I believe sharing is caring. So I think that's all. Thank you for watching. So if you like this video, you can like and share. You can share, you can like here, and also you can go to my channel, YouTube channel, to like, and of course subscribe, hit the bell, and yeah, just keep in touch. And if you have any questions, you can also leave your questions there. Inshallah, in my upcoming video, I will try to come up with the video that can help you preparing your students, inshallah. So there's a link there, right? Okay. I think that's all. Thank you very much. And again to teacher Mel. And I also like to express my thanks to Cikgu Suhaimi, because he is the one that initiate all these things and make these things possible. And of course, friends and offices, friends, families, and everybody support to have this kind of online, we call it online coaching actually. So thank you very much. Hope you get something.
All right. I want to conclude this session in 3 words. You are off. All right. Thank you so much for a very meaningful sharing. After all, sharing is caring. Yes, absolutely right. Well, teachers and students, we hope this is a fruitful lesson. Okay.
Another thing, Teacher Mel, is
Okay.
you are what you think. If you think it is easy, there will a lot more ways to achieve, inshallah.
All right. Yes, inshallah. And again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. A sign of support and enthusiasm for us to continue our activities. Thank you. Till then, guys, have a great day ahead. Bye.
Bye.